don't spend time earning skills, and that's again what you heard from the president, skills are more important than memorizing knowledge. There is no teacher in the world today who can give you any information which is not on the net. I challenge all universities and all top professors everywhere in the world. An inventor, an innovator can, but not a teacher.
This is really very shameful that everything has developed in this world except schools. Now, that prompted us in not just talking about it, in doing something about it. So we started this year the first school in the world which does not graduate by examination. We graduate students by invention. You don't sit for a final exam. You sit for an invention exam. In order to graduate from Talal Abu Ghazali College of Innovation, you have to invent something ICT-based. And that is talking about inventions in the knowledge world. So students spend time in this college learning how to invent, not to memorize, so that when they come out, they create work and opportunities and not look for a job. A creator employs job seekers and doesn't look for a job or seek jobs.
And let's hope this great country, under this great leadership, will again be not just the place for innovation, but also innovation that leads to inventions that will lead the world to become a better world.
I'm so impressed, and in fact, I have just sent a message to my Talal Abu Ghazali College for Innovation to start working with the School of Leaders, International School of Leaders, on developing a memorandum of understanding for cooperation between Talal Abu Ghazali College of Innovators and this school. I am very impressed and I admire it, and it increases my admiration for His Excellency the President of Macedonia, for sponsoring and leading. As a great leader, he is leading the process of creating leaders. I'm very impressed and I'm very honored that I have spent this afternoon with His Excellency talking about the future of the world.
one of you guys or among you, we have our marketing team as marketing representative. Do we really need her in 5 years' time? Yes, we do. Because what we are doing is, instead of doing the job personally, we just invent the ways how the machines should be doing that job. So we are the ones who are designing the job at the moment instead of doing it personally. So everything will change. Yes, you will not see more people, that many people at the airports, at the airline offices, but you will definitely still need those people to design those things for you. So we will not disappear. We'll always be there.
Perfect. So our needs are changing, and that's why machines cannot change that easily, and we need people to keep them changing.
Yeah.
It's a perfect formula for keeping humanity employed at least for another century more. But besides keeping it employed, we also need to keep them team working and keep them collaborative.
One of the biggest issues today is how to make loyal people in your company. Loyalty is the biggest problem, because if they are getting bigger salaries in some other companies and a better position, they're going. But on the other hand, there are lots of young people which wants to work on creative problems, to solve creative problems. For them, that is a challenge. And a lot of companies are pushing young people to go to some education, to invest in their knowledge, and so on. Young people are not so sure what they want to be in their lives. They have goals, but in the countries which are in transition, it's really hard to achieve your goals. I think that they're very smart, very intelligent, very well educated, and they just need to support to get better and to think out of the box. The biggest issue for them is to think out of the box and not to be scared to get the risk and to start their own companies, NGOs, or so.
Manufacturers, airline operators, and airport operators are in the same industry. They are complementary to each other, but they are competitors to each other as well. Because, for example, Turkish airline expenditure is my revenue. So I want to increase my revenue, they want to decrease their expenditure. So there is a competition here. But it is complementary. They cannot do without us, we cannot do without them. So it is complementary. So in this kind of complementary and competitive business, you should not interfere. You have to go with your core business. You have to focus. I always say that it's not about the focus, it's all about focus. You have to focus your business.
The thing that I like the most is that we've had people that are coming from different backgrounds. They have different success stories. But the thing that I like the most is the fact that they teach us that it's okay to fail as long as you get up again and do what you do, but even better. So I like that.
I think this is a very great opportunity to be here to learn about the leadership and also to meet so many talented young people from different countries with different backgrounds, and it's great to be here.
I think that this school is a good opportunity to meet leaders, to meet people with rich knowledge who want to share their experiences with us, to meet young people with desire to get more knowledge. How much are we going to invest, and what are we going to collect in 25 years' time? So there are some given parameters from the government. Some governments say that I don't want any investment, just operate my building, and it's something else. Some governments say that they have only 1 million passengers, but they ask from you an airport like Los Angeles airport. You say that we have only 1 million passengers, you cannot do it. So the criteria is simple. Passenger number is very important, and the investment amount is very important, and the bankability of the project is very important. Because if you cannot finance the project, you cannot do it. So you have to be able to finance the project.
Firstly, it's an amazing program, and I'm happy to be here. I think I will learn a lot, to gain a lot of knowledge, and meeting new friends.
It seems that the school is going to be a great way, a great opportunity to gain knowledge from eminent and experienced lecturers who are actually CEOs, general managers, and so on. It's become more valuable if you have in mind that this thing can be learned by the traditional classic books. And it's my pleasure to participate in this event thanks to the president and the organization team.
And it's not easy to be successful, and it's not easy to be a good at what you do, but it was easy. Everybody would be successful. Salesman, successful athlete, successful sportist, successful entrepreneur. So it's not going to be easy, and you shouldn't ask for easy. And the road will be bumpy, and there will be a lot of obstacles on your way. But once you overcome this rock, you will feel stronger, and you'll feel like you have passed all the struggles, and those struggles actually will make you stronger and more knowledgeable and a better person.
My expectations from the School of Young Leaders are to gain new knowledge, to share experiences with professionals from different fields, and also to build a network of fellows and friends for the future.
It's an immense honor to be part of this school because we have the chance to learn from exceptional people who had succeeded in their life a lot through passing a lot of obstacles.
And I really wish that all of you find your passion, what you're passionate about, because you should enjoy what you do. You know, if you enjoy what you do, if you're passionate about what you do, then you will want to spend more time at what you do, and that will improve you and make you better and increase your skills and competencies, and it will make you the best in the thing that you do. And to add to my mother's quote, you know, she said that knowledge is the only thing that nobody can take away from us. I say that it's knowledge and what you have in here and what you have in here. That's the passion that nobody can take away from you.
Business leaders have agreed that the best skill you can have today in business is being nice. Being nice to people gets you the farthest ever. So being nice is not overrated skill. It's the best thing you can have. And I know that living in Macedonia and in the Balkans and in countries where corruptions and stuff are a regular part of our lives, it's hard to believe in that. But trust me, those things are just a phase. At the end of the day, in the world and your daily life, being nice makes you happy.
It's amazing. I really like it a lot, and I'm very happy that someone started it. It's especially amazing to hear that it's the 10th year that you guys are organizing this, and that means that there are already 400, 500 people that have been through the school, and I'm honored and very happy to be here. It's a great idea and a great organization, great program, great participants, and it's all overall an excellent place to be.
Anaerobic digestion is the technology for processing food waste into biogas. And that's something together with composting that I think has a big future in Macedonia. Knowing that Macedonia is an agricultural country, we have a lot of food processing, food waste, and it's a clean, simple, proven technology, and I think we can benefit from implementing that.
For me, definition of a leader is a man or woman who has at least 5 people behind his back. So in a way, he's leading a group to his final destination of his work or of his life, and they are behind him in every way, in every sense.
I made new friends, I met a lot of bright minds, we exchange our culture, and we get familiar with interesting topics like sustainable development, like environmental engineering, and etc.
During these 2 weeks, I expect to learn new skills, to gain new knowledge from experienced and successful lecturers. I think that the things learned here can be implemented in different fields, so I'll try to use them in my surroundings.
This is my third time in the school and I really enjoy being here. Every time I come here, I share my own experience with those young leaders, and it is really nice to hear from them, to see their perspective.
With all this time, I just seen that leadership is a skill that every GM should have. Because being a GM is not such an important thing. You can just bring any person and put him or her as a GM. If she or he knows the procedures to work with and the rules to work with, he or she can do it. It's not a huge issue. But if you have that leadership skill, you just adopt, integrate your GM position in the best way that you can really lead your team.
The new generation leaders has to be really transforming leaders because the times are changing so quickly. It's so quicker than what we had experienced. So they really integrate with the artificial intelligence. They need to be world citizens. They need to speak several languages. But at the end of the day, they need to come back to their own country to boost Macedonia in order to develop Macedonia.
I really enjoyed our first 2 days. I enjoyed the opening speech of our president and also enjoyed the other speakers. They're all meaningful, they're super resourceful, they give you big insights and important information also when it comes to the development, the industry and also their industries. I think that is a super big asset that there are different industries represented here, like from the digital marketing all the way to environmental, to companies that are good doing like in the aviation industry, like Turkish Airlines is, and the one that was yesterday, which is holding airports. And for the first 2 days, it's all excellent, and I'm really looking forward for the following 10 days we have here.
For me, leadership is a skill of good managing with people, time and resources, and is a result-driven characteristic.
Nowadays, the technology is very fast development. Leaders should learn how to learn fast new skills and to get on the market ready for the new opportunities. And in words of the fourth industrial revolution, I would say that it's a step-by-step process that should be implemented in all the private sector and the government.
You're going to work in groups. You're going to have as much stickers as you can. It should be very flashy at the end of the day. So any ideas that you might have, you just write it down on a sticker and just stick it to the wall. The skills, the way we work together, and the outcome. And then in the end of the day, we're going to reflect to this. We'll come here and we see if some of our expectations are met. If not, why not? And how we can together produce a long-term outcome.
Trainings of this type, as I was part of this kind of training 10 years ago, a leadership development program, can bring huge value for single participants. So it can redefine, reshape their lives. And I personally think that not only the President of Republic of Macedonia as an institution, but also other institutions, private institutions, companies, universities, will have to organize this kind of events so that they, in a way, produce better people for the society that we are living.
You're the one that's supposed to make the change. And if you want to really do something good for you and for your community, then you should involve in solving the problem, not waiting for anybody else to solve your problem. And if something of this that we've talked and done and right today helps you in your future careers, lives, whatever, I'm going to be personally very happy. If not, just make sure that you follow the vision of the active citizenship. The active citizenship program is the only vision that is aimed for you, aimed for the individuals, for person. It's you that creates the content that can solve the problem. And if you follow that process and ask people around you, use your skills, then you'll be probably one step forward in solving what affects you most.
I think personally that the group here has been widely selected with good digital skills and has opinion and thinking, to think outside of the box. They're good critical thinkers, that's what I think.
I'm really pleased to be here and honored to have this opportunity. When I go back home, I will have more knowledge, sharing experiences, and a really good network of people who are interested in the same topic.
I think the leader is a man who can face the problem and find solution without difficulties.
Something that humans are very tended to do is listening with the intention to respond, instead of listening with the intention to understand. And debate is very much like this. In debate, you are listening, and even if you think you already understand what they are saying, you will jump in and try to convince them that they are wrong. And this is not the goal of dialogue. The goal of dialogue is not even to reach mutual ground. So another example of facilitated dialogue in some form is mediation. So mediation uses a lot of the same skills as facilitation, but with mediation, the goal ultimately is to reach a consensus together, to get to an understanding or a solution to the problem that you have with each other. But in facilitation, we talk with each other even if we are different, and we just listen to understand. And we don't find solutions, because the solution is not something, the solution is trying to understand each other. It's been very interesting being here. I wasn't fully sure what to expect. I've seen some things online on previous iterations, but I'm very impressed. It's such a large group of very interesting young people that are actually the people that we also like to work with, as we feel that really it's this generation of people that will make the biggest difference in the world if they learn the skills that we are teaching. And I'm very excited that this school, it seems to be very aligned with our goals in terms of what you're trying to reach and bring together this new generation of people, to teach them these skills that are very important in this 21st century that in traditional schooling actually is very often overlooked.
How can we place this passion of sport at the purpose of a better world for all? Where are the issues that we need to attack as a society? There is not a problem on the world that is not too big for an individual country to manage. So we need to work together, and sport can be an incredible force of good. And at the same time, below the surface, the reputation of sports is in a very delicate place. When we look at the Oscar-winning documentary Invictus, about the drug policies in Russia at the time of Sochi, when we look at Sandpapergate with the Russians, when we look at Inflategate with Tom Brady, basically cheating in sports, when we look at the World Cup going to Qatar, being heavily criticized, and the black money that was being paid at FIFA, when we look at how sport organizations are run, when we look at athletes misbehaving, spending their money, incredible amounts of money, when we look at sports betting and the honesty of sports and the competitions that they're in, clearly there's a lot to work on when we look at the power of sports and the integrity of sports and the ethics of sports and the morals of sport. So it is the meaning. Right now sports are very busy rethinking what it is that they actually stand for. What do these rings actually represent? What does the Olympic flame actually represent? What does the healthy mind in a healthy body actually represent? Why is it so valuable? Why is it still alive today?
Well, I think it's a really nice initiative to have so many young people together to exchange ideas and learn new stuff, and clearly everybody's very engaged and I think excited about participating in the program, as they should be. I think it's pretty astonishing to have so many people from so many different angles sharing their ideas and learning from the students, as the students can learn from them as well.
The art of storytelling is a beautiful gift. Stories are made to be shared. We've always told each other stories. But hammering home your advertising message, interrupting all the time, With your great brands, we are inundated with commercial messages all the time. Advertising is made to be repelled. It is made to be intrusive, while stories are made to be shared. And every single one of you has an amazing story to tell. Your companies have amazing stories to tell. Your government has amazing stories to tell. But as long as you make sure that you tell them in a narrative that people would actually want to hear, you'll get somewhere. Not by just hammering home whatever it is that you want to say.
The world is entering a new era. Now, I like my sessions to be very interactive. Last time I was here, I had a group of lovely students just like you. So please feel free to interact and give me information about your countries, your background as well, because I'm going to give you a lot of statistics about social media and how social media behavior is changing the world today.
The school is so innovative. I have been invited to the School for Young Leaders for the second time, and I did not hesitate for one moment to come here. I believe it's such a good opportunity to meet young people from every industry with different interests, to update them on the latest marketing tricks and technologies. I believe the future generation will be holding the key to a better world. So I think it's our duty as professors and professionals to tell them how to do so. And in that case, I believe the President's Cabinet is doing such a great job.
If the news is about 4 pages, do you spend time reading it? If it's only 1 paragraph, do you read it? Definitely. A video, if it's 10 minutes on social media, do you press play? If it's 0.59 seconds, do you press play? Yes, because it's short. So I don't mean by design, this is just a great example of how design could be leading with the simplicity of your work, the simplicity of information, the simplicity of everything is going to make your job more interesting.
Because we talked about how artificial intelligence, robotics and other technological instruments will change the future. So it's a good opportunity for them to see how technology will affect their environment, their society, their workplace. And I think it's a nice opportunity for them to brainstorm about how they're going to integrate 4th industrial revolution and themselves.
So these 2 scientists here, John McCarthy and Marvin Minsky, were 2 pioneers of AI. They coined the term artificial intelligence. They gathered together in Dartmouth University in 1956. And then they stayed there for about a summer. They were so confident they thought that over a summer they will solve every problem out there. And it was actually John McCarthy who came up for the first time with the idea of artificial intelligence. So I think before we talk about AI, AI is a very fuzzy subject, right? So I think we need some definitions here for AI. Oh, I thought it was quite remarkable. I had a very interesting talk, I think, with some of the leaders here. They had very good questions, which shows that they come from a very good caliber. And I look forward to interacting with them a lot more. I think it was a very valuable experience, also for me, trying to see what kind of people and what kind of new leaders are emerging out of Macedonia. It's always very, very encouraging. So this is a very long video, but I just want to show you briefly here. So I don't know whether you can appreciate, but you have an input image superimposed with the class IDs, and the class IDs are represented as a color. So you have a road here. You see these are slightly reddish here, and then it says, okay, this is a free space, this is a car, this is a human here, this is a sidewalk, this is a sign. It is trying to understand the scene. So in order to have a self-driving car at Audi, you must, in anywhere, you must understand your environment. And in order for you to understand the environment, you have to see what is out there. You have to understand that, okay, this is a car, but not only that it is a car, the moment you know it is a car, you know that it will walk. The moment you know it is a tree, you know that it will not work. So you're not only recognizing, but you have a semantic information that comes along with it. So now you can start reasoning about it, very much like the brain is doing, right? Artificial intelligence, robotics, nanotechnology, genetics, medical research will also make a major impact. I think it's very important that we are aware of it. I think it's very important that new leaders in Macedonia are very aware of it, so that we take the right steps in order to predict the future and assure the outcomes are in our favor. Because if you lag behind, then this is something that somebody who has access to it will be quite ahead of everybody else. And in comparison to other industrial revolutions, I think unless you are very, very close by, you'll probably be very behind and you'll not be able to catch up. So it's very important that we talk about these things. It's very important that we educate people about it. It's very important that leaders know about it, both in the public and also in the private sector.
For me, the leader is someone who keeps up with innovations and who isn't afraid to learn something new. So I hope that one day me and the participants who are here will also have a chance to be a leader.
Leadership is something which is inherent and that everyone possesses it, but people need to have some incentive, and that has to be brought out of them. And this school and this seminar actually does a wonderful job at doing exactly that.
It has been a big pleasure to be part of this leadership program. I'm convinced that this school will contribute to education and motivation of young people.
We had a unique opportunity to listen all kind of facilitators and professors from different fields with a lot of knowledge, and that is all connected to the fourth industrial revolution that we are going into. We had pleasure to meet a brilliant group of young people, bright minds, hungry for knowledge and success.
Motivation comes from outside, right? So someone motivates you. I create a system for you to receive a reward, right? Inspiration, according to my definition, comes from within. I get inspired. Okay, so I hear, I see, I listen, I perceive in general something that calls my attention and inspires me, gives me an idea, gives me the power to do something different, right? That's inspiration. And I just do it. I just feel inspired. There's no condition there, right? There's no 100 euros bill. I can inspire myself. I can do the things just because I got inspired. You get it? There's a big, big difference. So whenever you act as a leader, as a team member, don't forget, you have the power of inspiration and motivation. You have to learn to use what is the best alternative for you. I personally like very much inspiration. So I don't have to be taking care of what the people does. I don't have to manage people. But I can allow people to manage themselves.
It has been a pleasure of mine to meet so many successful leaders and to hear about their stories. For me, a leader is someone who is eager to learn, to try new things, and to accept the changes.
Young leaders in the present time should dare to think out of that box, but in the same time, they should distinguish among all of the information that we get in our daily life. So the quality needs to be their first priority.
Remember, our objective here is to create 5 business models. So we're going to work in the 5 teams that we set up yesterday. And you're going to discuss an idea. So identify a problem that you see that can be generated by the Industrial Revolution, the fourth, and come up with an idea of solving it. Okay? Discuss the idea, and after that, you are going to find then what is the value proposition of that idea. What is the thing that you are going to be offering? For example, receiving truck drivers that are going to lose their job. Now we are creating a new thing for them. Okay? What is the unique value proposition? I don't know. You're going to invent something, but try to find that you are the only one capable of making it happen.
It is a great honor, a pleasure to be part of this year's School for Young Leaders and having an opportunity to meet 40 young people, 40 potential leaders. But at the same time, it's a big challenge because as we strike out in the digital era, it's our responsibility as future leaders to navigate the changes and at the same time to produce impactful, positive leadership.
A leader for me is a person who is helping others by achieving the goals among them, not staying in the big office next to them and they referring to him as the guy in the big office, but going among them and helping others with his knowledge and perception of the world.
Once you have the idea and this basic business model canvas, you have, well, I'm going to be sitting with you, so I'm going to criticize a bit your business model, try to challenge yourself, right? And then in the next session, you are going to start pitching it. You are going to present it as it is a real business that you are going to do. Why not? It might be something that you will want to do, right? And that pitching practice is what is going to prepare you for going to see the president, right? Because each one of the teams will have to present to the president what is the idea you worked on and which are the kind of, why are you doing this, if this is going to be a real thing or not, etc.
I really like the interaction with people, and these are interesting people from different industries, what makes it kind of more difficult and more challenging, but at the same time more interesting that they come from different backgrounds. So in general, I really like to speak and interact with Macedonian people because they are more open to new things, I noticed. Compared to Ukrainian and Polish market, Macedonian are more eager to learn and to study. So this is very positive. Be the change you want to see, first of all. I really hope that our leaders are well aware and educated about broad topics, not only related, to the economics or business or whatever they focus on. They have to be much wider and broader, aware of the things, and bring them all together. That will bring us, that create a synergy. So not only to focus on one area.
The listening skills are the one who are essential for the new age, and also a bit of empathy for the people's needs and problems they have. A new leader has to be someone who is flexible, but also someone who has integrity for the decision making.
It is a great privilege to learn from such eminent lecturers and to meet such young people with great visions. It is a great interest for me being here, so I can learn and I can establish my skills being as a young woman and as a young leader, because so far we learned more about our self-awareness, about other people's needs, and we learned that the leader is the one who has to keep the good energy running. The leader is the one who motivates and inspires other people so we can make a great impact in our society.
The advocacy portion is building friends, building a network. And so I do not know how many times I've gone to a congressional office and you expect to meet with a member of Congress, but quite frankly, you're not really meeting with a member of Congress, you're meeting with staffers. And staffers are people like you. They're literally between the ages of 22 and 29, and they're, recent graduates or young professionals, and you're talking to them about why their boss, the congressman, should support Macedonia or stronger U.S.-Macedonia relations. And so, and then you have to do research. And I always, that's one of the biggest problems I think on a lot of networking, when you do networking, is you don't know who are the people you're engaging with. So if you don't do your research. And so I highly recommend using the latest technologies to dig in and research a lot of people that you're meeting with so that you know what their biographies are, so you have a point of interest to talk to them about. I'm really pleased that the President and the Cabinet invited me to be one of the speakers at the Ivanov International School for Young Leaders. I've been a huge proponent for educating young leaders, and we share that vision with President Ivanov, and we're very impressed that this has continued for a decade. We hope that this will continue for many years to come, and I'm so enthused and I'm so impressed with the caliber of young leaders present here this weekend and this week.
I've gained great knowledge being amongst the global leaders that came and visited us and gave us the lecture needed to be the part from the fourth revolution.
Unfortunately, I guess somebody will be very upset, but my message is, if you want to succeed, do not act like millennium. Do not think that you're entitled from God. Hard work, dedication, failures, over and over again, picking yourself up, always finding a way, trusting yourself, trusting your instincts, and having a good soul and heart in the right place will bring you to be a leader.
So really, even if you see
photos of the politician, you can read 1,000 words behind the line what they talk about. And the last photo of body language, you always need to see the whole situation. It's not if you go to bus station and someone is saying like this, it doesn't mean that he is defensive with you. But if you approach to someone who is with open hand and he put arms on defensive way, it means really that he has some reserve with you.
As an idea of connecting a smart and enthusiast young people, I think that the president is creating a network that will lead our Republic of Macedonia in brighter and developing future.
The best thing that I can say is that we should learn to think outside the box, that we should take action in old way, and also to get out of our comfort zone to make some change.
The presentation should be very structured, because you have 5-10 minutes to present what you are doing 2 hours or I don't know 3 hours. In 3 hours present in 5 minutes. It's very difficult. It's very difficult. And one of the key question of presentation is what the audience actually receive, or better to say, remember. When you're preparing your presentation, you have to have in mind your audience. What you would like them to remember, to know, actually, to inform that, or maybe to get acknowledged or something, or maybe to, I don't know, to question something, or I don't know. You have to have your goals before your presentation.
Субјективно и не зборувам нешто имагинарно. Зборувам за вистинската димензија на женската способност. Зборувам за тоа дека ова е време кога ние се уште издвојуваме категорија со права за жената. И дека е апсурдно се уште да се расправа за женската борба за слобода, за низиното прифаќање и почитување. Бидејќи се учиме на тоа од мали нозе, меѓутоа со текот на времето сфаќаме дека за да успееш како жена во ова општество, треба да работиш двојно од тоа што го работи мажот, во здолниште или во панталони, со или без издушен дак на ноктите, за иста позиција или работа. Зошто сме се уште заглавени? Имајте ги на ум Мишел Обама, Опра Винфри, Нина Ангеловска, Роза Луксембург, Љуб Карсова, Валентина Сининка, кои што се значително мал дел од супер жените кои што се борат во светот за местото кое што веќе им е заслужено.
We are teaching what is leadership, or what is the fourth industrial revolution, and how to deal with the changes. Changes cannot be avoided, but it can be transformed. So leadership is not something that is static. It's a process, and it's not a destination, but it's really a process that people need a real mental and social power to deal with it.
I must say that the most important thing I gained here was meeting so many people who are actually potential leaders in such different areas and ways in our society. But the most thing I was impressed was visiting the airport in Istanbul.
But at the same time, there is a huge hype going on. There is this hype phase at the moment with regard to the artificial intelligence. But so my point is that in the short term, we have to accept that this, what we call artificial intelligence or algorithm, they will be changing some areas of life, but not fundamentally. They can be used as a tool to provide further services or to help in providing services, but they are very far from kind of being autonomous. Not at all. So, and this is something we have to accept. In the long term, we will see. There is a law which is called, I think, Amata's law, after a U.S. professor, which says that we tend to overestimate the implications of technology over the short term and underestimate it over the long term. I think the school is a wonderful idea. I understand that this course happens already for the 10th time, and I think it's very, very important to give the young people the possibility to learn about the society, to learn about different challenges, possibilities in the future life. So I think it's a very, very good initiative, and I'm really glad that I was able to participate here. One very important aspect is transparency, and this we also discovered. I mean, it wasn't kind of a first level objective for us, but we discovered that digital e-governance is a very, very good, perhaps the most efficient tool against corruption. Because when you conduct the government business, including public procurement, for example, or recruiting people, when you do it digitally or with the help of digital applications, there is always a digital track left somewhere behind. So it's very, very difficult to cheat. It's very, very difficult really to try to influence some kind of a public tender with some corrupt practices, because everything is digital, everything is recorded, and everything is transparent in that respect. So it's a very, very important aspect. At least it was in Estonia. The young people who gather here, they are the future leaders of Macedonia, and they will be the people who will lead the change. The change is, it can be called digital society, it can be called Industry 4.0, it can be called artificial intelligence application, but the phenomenon is the same, that the society is changing, the future of work is changing, the future of education and health is changing, and the young people who are here today and who are here taking part in these courses, they are the people who are actually going to drive that change. And the more we give them understanding of what's going on, the better.
These same organizations are demanding assistance and advice from employers. Yet these employers who have to compete every single day, people are trying to eat their lunch, okay? They're very, very competitive. They have to change their way of business almost every day, are being forced to deal with an organization that hasn't changed in 150 years. There's a disconnect there. And that disconnect gets to attitude. I have some very, very serious problems with K-12 education in America, if you haven't noticed. It was so frustrating with me that I had to leave it. I used to do labor negotiations, and I was helping to run districts. And it was just, the resistance to change was so acute that I just couldn't do it. So I digress. But my point about education is this. Computer science education could change the game in the US in terms of labor. Now consider this. We have about 7 million open jobs in the US, and they're all from Silicon Valley, they're from New York, they're from Austin, Texas. These are jobs with the biggest technology companies in the world. They need programmers, they need design engineers, they need product design specialists, they need graphic designers, they need people to build really interesting websites. The labor just isn't there because people are being undereducated. Well, one of the advantages of being a relatively small country is that you can scale solutions very, very quickly. And so, whereas things are, to leverage blockchain in the US, you would require a lot of sign-offs, a lot of administrative hurdles, because it's so new. We don't move as fast. Here in Macedonia, you can move very quickly. You can literally decide, hey, this particular section, this community is going to try this. And you can try, you can be really experimental and be really entrepreneurial as a country, whereas much larger countries can't do it. But once you do it like Estonia's done, you're modeling what is possible for e-government, what is possible for services delivery. And so I think this is a huge opportunity for the young people here, and I hope they take advantage of it. We have a tremendous opportunity. You have a tremendous opportunity. You do not need to be some coding savant to enter in that upper part of the value chain, this tribe of creators. You are there because you understand the issues around you, correct? You understand them. And so my advice, my strong advice, is to firstly get your head right, okay? Is people who see the invisible can do the impossible. So you gotta dream big. Don't be like an idiot about it, talking about Major League Baseball, or being the next Zidane. I mean, come on, do you play soccer? Are you 6'4"? Come on. But being the best version of yourself is absolutely possible and completely within your control. Only our people with executive potential get an opportunity to do things like this in the US, which is just very interesting, that you wait till a person is already executive to train them to be an executive. It's just very, very odd. I don't know why you wouldn't do it this way. I can imagine this is a tremendous investment. So I'm glad that the president and the sponsors are engaging these young people this way early in their development, because they're going to be really, really well suited to take over international organizations, to really lead the country in a way that would lead to much more prosperous times for everyone. I think it's a tremendous opportunity for them.
If we can create beverages and apparel, technology companies that are all better ideas, then what does that do about the design of the future? Right? Most of the business that's happened in the 20th century was not good for people and not good for the planet. In the 21st century, why aren't we redesigning? Right? Why aren't we innovating towards better solutions? With capital, top talent, and technology. That, for me, is the dream. That is the vision.
I think it's an amazing opportunity for future leaders to think differently about the world they're entering into. They're looking at new ideas, new processes, new methods for creating companies and government policies. And what I most love about it is that everyone comes from different backgrounds. And so they're bringing their own expertise, but everyone's kind of on an equal background to learn things they don't know about. And I think that's an unbelievable opportunity.
That is how you build successful companies in the world of entrepreneurial capital, right? You find great talent, and then, now that you have the talent and the idea, you sell it. So I went to investors and said, you know what, I have the best beverage maker in the world. No way, you got Paulo? Yeah, we did. And he's going to make the beverage. Coca-Cola wanted him, but we had him. Would you invest? Yeah, I'll invest, right? So you build it like any other company.
I think there's some great dreamers. I think there's some great visionaries that are part of the group. And their biggest challenge is to feel like, well, really, do I have the resources it takes? I'm from a country that's not as rich as, say, Germany. I come from a region that doesn't have the opportunities that Germany affords. So there becomes almost like a self-defeatist attitude, rather than this optimism of, I can do this, I can pull this off. So I think part of it is just the confidence that they have everything they need to be successful, and that no matter where you live in the world, you can pull together a successful enterprise. I think it's that confidence that I don't need to go to Germany to be successful. I can do it here.
I'm really excited of being part of this international school for young leaders. I'm really empowered and motivated, and I have such an excellent time here. This school is an opportunity to be part of, to be among young leaders who share the same desire to make a change and to act for a social contribution. I have the opportunity to re-examine myself, my ideas and my goals.
You don't hire smart people so that you tell them what to do. Why do we hire smart people? Because they should tell you what to do. So a smart person that you have hired in your company, you cannot just tell this person, go do that, go do this. If this person doesn't understand it, this person will not do it, because that person knows the value he or she has, and would say, look, I don't understand what you're asking from me. If you would be able to explain it to me, then I probably understand and would either agree or disagree, but I would have my reasons. So create a sense of urgency. If you fail in step one, don't continue with the change. You have already messed up.
I think this is a great idea and a great program that the president has introduced. And as I understood, this is the 10th year that this is happening. This already shows the success of it. And the people here that are joining this program seem to be very motivated. They are doing it privately and they are doing it facultatively. So that means that there is need for people who want to develop their skills and they want to add something more to what they already have or get from the education so that they become even better. So I think with that, having in mind that, the program is hitting the sweet spot.
So the decision that the Global Leadership Summit made was to try out new technologies, to try out a different way of making the summit available. And with that, the prices for the summit are affordable. Okay, maybe not affordable for just everybody in the society, but they're not super expensive, as some of the summit invitations that I have personally gotten. When we talk about live interaction with some of those speakers, I was really surprised, and I use this as a frequent example. What I'm able to see here and in our country, in Macedonia, is a new generation of people very much aware of the global trends and of what are the issues that we're facing both nationally, regionally, and globally. And on the other hand, I'm seeing a new perceptiveness and a new way of analyzing and dealing with those situations. So I do believe that the awareness is greater because of the digital nature of the era that we all share.
The pinnacle of all relationships, of all business relationships, is a trust-based relationship. This is where actually your client sees you as a valuable resource to their organization. And this is where any issue, whether that be emotional issue or whether that be a rational issue, personal issue, or a business issue, is open for discussions. So you've managed to establish great closeness with your clients so that they feel comfortable enough that they can discuss any issue with you. So that's the trust-based relationship. My message to the new generation of leaders is actually for them to be courageous. Just go out in the world, don't be shy, do the decisions you think are right, make moves, make first moves, as I said, just be courageous and go out there and do your thing. Don't be afraid, don't have any fears.
So all you're doing is just repeating back. There's no better acknowledgement to the other side that you've heard them and understood. Now, when you do that with a sort of a lower, normal tone of voice, you're taking out that previous thing I mentioned. You're taking out any attitude, any emotion you have. When you repeat that back with sort of a normal tone of voice and say, oh, you see, you're concerned that your work doesn't get all the attention in there, right? There's no attitude there. So that person actually gets to hear you understand, right? So you're repeating back what they're saying. You're actually labeling. It seems like you're concerned that you're not getting full credit. It seems like you're concerned what our service is like when we sell you this stuff. It seems to me like you're really anxious to get this capital because you really believe in your idea, right? So those are ways to get the other person to be more open, to talk actually and gain a sense of understanding from you.
So the sooner people recognize that as a skill, the sooner they can start practicing it, because it's like a craft that they will use in any sphere of life, and they'll find ways to get better at it. The more experiences they have, the more mistakes they make, the more wins they get out of that. They get much, much better with this area.
School for Young Leaders was a great opportunity to improve our communication, collaboration, leadership skills, and to gain new experience from significant lecturers. Thank you.
From what I can now conclude,
there is a lot of positive energy here, young, motivated people with a huge desire to enrich their knowledge. The organization is at a very high level and the goals are precisely set.
Walmart, Samsung, Volkswagen, Coach Industries, Roche, Ford, Toyota. Many of us know ArcelorMittal, the biggest still. BMW. I mean, these are all corporate companies, big-sized companies. We know them internationally, but they are family companies. And even they have shares open to the stock market, they still keep the decision-making shares within the family. So to be called a family company, you have to keep the decision-making shares within the company for the big-sized ones. But also the small companies, like it can be like small wine producer in France, third generation, small family, small yard, but continuing the business. It shouldn't be necessarily like big-sized company and stuff. So as soon as it's owned and run by the family, it's a family company. So to able to do that, the family has to have, I mean, this is not a legal thing, but the families usually have more than 25% of the shares in the company.
To be a happy person, you know, this is very important. Because you can be a good engineer, you can be a good doctor, you can be a good father, or you can be a mother. But if you are not happy, it doesn't mean anything, you know. Because happy people are always motivated and capable to succeed what they are seeking for. But unhappiness is gonna kill all your motivation, all your trainings, everything you have in the school. So try to be happy, you know. I know it's not easy in today's fast-paced environment. I know it's so challenging, but still, you know, if a person cannot find a time and a technique to make himself happy, he cannot make people around him happy, and the team that will make you money or that will bring you success will be the ones that are around you that you should be happy together.
How can we go digital if the customer doesn't want to? I'm trying to sell e-invoices for the electricity, but the customer doesn't want to. He wants a paper invoice. What can I do? I'm trying to grade up, to improve for e-banking systems. It's much more convenient with e-banking than to go to the shelter. But 90% of our people still go to the shelter, and I don't know why. So, you can have the best digitalization strategy. It's not the best if it's not focused on the customer. Because at the end of the day, everything we do for the customer. Don't get desperate. I mean, the change is so dramatical and so fast that sometimes you might find yourself that you're not pacing up with the change. Yeah? In such situations, don't get desperate. Take it easy. It will work. It worked all over the centuries in the past, and it will work in the centuries in the future. Just work hard on the processes, but don't lose the fun while working.
At this School of Young Leaders, we have a lot of experience. We have amazing 2 weeks. We've met a lot of friends. We've learned a lot from the lectures. And I can say that this is a life-change experience for me.
I'm really impressed about this school and how fast these 2 weeks have gone. I'm truly amazed about all the trainers and the lessons they gave us. And because of this school, I have expanded my network. Getting expanded to a new skills and knowledge helps me seamlessly move to another individual role.
Овие нивни искуства, сознанија и вештини ќе ви помогнат во животот да во слични ситуации се наоѓате и наоѓате решенија. Да знаете како да создадете тим на луѓе кои ќе ве следат, на кои ќе им понудите решенија, никој пат нема да се обесхрабрувате и секој пат ќе бидете загледани кон тоа што доаѓа. Така да на тој пат Сето ова знаење ќе ви користи, иако сега сте малку збунети или со ваш речник, сето знаење зиповано сега. Кога ќе си отидете дома, во текот на идните месеци ќе почне да се распакува ова све што е зиповано овие 2 недели и ќе видите дека со поинакви очи ќе го гледате светот. И дека не треба никој пат да губите надеж и секој пат треба да верувате во себе. Оти ако си ја повратите само до вербата, ја враќате и смислата на вашиот живот.
Тоа знаење што го стекна не може да се добие од книгите. Тоа се стекнува практично. А за тие цели да се остварат, треба вистински лидери.
Ме представува чест и задоволство што бев дел од Десеттата школа за млади лидери. Ја поддржувам и поздравувам иницијативата да се инвестира во знаење во млади луѓе, затоа што тоа представува капитална инвестиција кон подобро утре.
Иднината ќе ја градиме ние со нашите визии, ние со нашите вредности. Затоа, млади лидери, размислете каква иднина сакате да изградите.
Да се биде лидер е одлука. Одлука за подобро јас и подобро општество.
Во изминативе 2 недели сите ние инвестиравме многу во себе. Ви благодарам.
Патот до врвот на вистина е тежок, но погледот оттаму е најубав. Во изминативе 2 недели, благодарение на вас, прекрасни луѓе, а пред се на вас, ваша екселенцијо, си скачивме неколку скалила повисоко до врвот. Затоа охрабрете и други луѓе кои заедно со нас ќе се искачуваат понатака.
Во изминатите 2 недели се инспириравме за промени и големи подвизи. Да бидеме најдобрата верзија од себе и да успееме да ја оправдаме довербата која што ни ја доверивте.
Успехот не доаѓа само од себе. Тој е како скалило по кое што се искачуваме секој ден од нашиот живот. За време на оваа обука се стекнавме со знаење и вештини со кои полесно ќе чекориме по тој пат до успехот.
Од денес натаму и на нас обстанува обврската, можеби не да го промениме наеднаш светот, меѓутоа да почнеме барем со првите чекори.
Онаму каде што владее љубов и каде што владее инспирација, не постои можност нештата да преминат во погрешен правец.
Верувам сите ќе се согласиме дека денес представува чест да се биде дел од оваа школа. Стекнавме многу искуства, научивме многу работи кои се надевам ќе ни послужат во иднина да создадеме подобро општество.
Јас би сакала само да упатам еден апел до сите да продолжиме да ги негуваме релациите и пријателствата кои што ги изградивме во изминативе 2 недели, бидејќи на секој лидер му е потребен тим и се надевам дека ќе продолжиме да се поддржуваме при справувањето со предизвиците кои што ни ги носи новиот глобален тек.
Во последните 2 недели мислам дека секој од нас доби вештини и нови знаења за успеси кои што ќе не направат подобри лидери, но пред се ќе не направат подобри луѓе.
Сите ние дојдовме овде за да ни го покажете патот до успехот. Вие вашето го завршите, другото останува на нас.
Јас искрено верувам дека оваа школа придонесе да секој од нас ги открие позитивните промени.
Ова беа 2 недели магични, кои што ми покажаа дека светот оди напред, дека дигиталната индустрија оди напред, дека технологијата оди напред. Но ние, сите ние, луѓе, ќе бидеме тие кои што ќе направат промената само доколку никогаш не се откажеме од нас самите.
Младите ја носат промената, сакат да прават нови идеи и во таа смисла искрено се надевам дека сите ние ќе добиеме можноста во иднината да повеќекратно ја возвратиме на Македонија.
Верували или не, ова е трет пат да носам вратоврска на мене. Првиот пат беше на отварањето, вториот пат беше во вилата. Се надам дека нема да биде последниот пат. Оваа вратоврска ме промени, но најмногу од себе променивте вие, сите вие, и многу ви се заблагодарувам.
важноста на овој најголем социјален проект во Европа гласи дека духовниот развој е многу важен. И доколку би го споредиле со една планина, нејзината тежина и содржина не дозволува и кога ветерот е силен таа да не се наведне.
Оваа школа е исклучителна можност за сите млади лица да ги надоградат своите знаења. Не би должела, само би нагласила дека сум благодарна и ми е чест што сум дел од јубилејната школа. И навистина ми е драго што и во нашата држава постои врвен лидер кој што не охрабрува, не мотивира и ни го покажува патот кон успехот.
Конечно добра шанса да газиме по нашиот пат наместо да ги следиме стапките на другите. Македонија има шанса и оваа школа е доказ за тоа. Благодарам.
Многу е важно да се верува во младите луѓе и да се знае таа верба да им се пренесе, за да си веруваат и тие самите на себе. Тоа е пораката до оваа школа. Како историчар морам да кажам дека ова иницијатива која почна во минатото, продолжува во сегашноста, сериозно ја трасира и иднината.
In the end, we only regret the chances we didn't take. That's why I'm really grateful to be here.
Само ќе ви посакам на сите, на патот кон успехот, да не ја заборавите силата на љубовта, бидејќи на крајот таа е единствената и најсилниот двигател на светот.
Во изминатите 2 недели успевавме да се мотивираме и да научиме како да действуваме низ призмата на лидерството.
Оваа школа ми овозможи да се огледаме на поширока слика од мозаикот на животот. Ограничувања во нашиот живот не постојат, освен нашите сомнежи и недостатокот на вистинска верба, без разлика дали станува збор за мали или за големи побарувања.
If your actions inspire others to dream more, be more, learn more, and become more, you are a leader.
Можност да согледам дека Македонија има огромен потенцијал и многу паметни луѓе, особено нас младите, и би сакал да ви пожелам среќа и успеси, многу успеси понатаму во животот.
Тука сите се заминуваме охрабрени и мотивирани за остварување на поголеми и повисоки цели.
Оваа школа ми овозможи да стекнам дополнителни знаења, вештини и искуство кои што допринесоа за мојот личен развој, за подоста јас да допринесам за креирање на општество кое што е сигурно, стабилно, просперитетно и каде што секој има можност да го развива својот потенцијал.
Времето поминато во овие 14 дена ќе го врежиме во нашата душа, а знаењето ќе ни биде темел за тоа што ќе го изградиме понатака.
Се надевам дека овој проект без преседан на овие простори ќе биде мостра и копиран и усовршуван од страна на идните шефови на млади и држави.
It may be the end of the school, but I believe that the knowledge, the skills we made, we learned, and most importantly, the friends we made will stay forever.
Сакам да ја искористам оваа шанса да се заблагодарам на сите македонци што ме овозможивте во Македонија да се чувствам како дома.
Ben indiye kadar düşünürdüm ki lider aslında insanları idare eden biridir ama buraya geldikten sonra öğrendim ki aslında hiç öyle değil. Lider tek işlemir. Lider etrafındaki insanlardan ilhamlanır ve onları ilhamlandırır.
Напредокот на општеството започнува со развојот на карактерот на младите. Ви благодарам, претседател.
Школата за млади лидери ми овозможни да абсорбирам енергија и знаење од ерудити, а пренесувањето на мудроста, искуствата и вредностите значи остварување во иднината и инвестирање. Ви благодарам што инвестиравте во нас младите лидери.
I would like to congratulate to all the participants who I can say are my very good friends now, for successfully completing the international training for young leaders. It's been an honor and privilege to learn with you and also learn from you.
Јас доживеав промена на менталната матрица, да веруваме повеќе во себе за тоа што ние вистински можеме да го промениме светот и да го направиме подобро место за живење.